Really quickly, don't record the footage. I know we started a couple minutes late, so let's get to it. So at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the moderator of this panel, Kalieef with Rotten Tomatoes. Come on out!
Davis, Tyler Hedlund, and Tyler Posey. As someone that has watched the show, I did start this job after the show finished, so I've been very... Oh, okay, easy now.
Oh yeah, we're dark.
Yeah.
We're brooding, is what's going on here. But now we can see all of you.
Yeah. We're going to be brooding. We'll get it. I did want to start here because if you came here from Tumblr days, we're fine. And I feel that was like the kickstart of all of this. And so like looking back on it, like why do you feel this fandom is so loyal that I literally had so many people talking to me when I found out I was moderating this. 5 years and 1 day from the last Comic-Con panel, folks are back here.
Narrative construction.
You're right,
no, it's the characters. It's always the characters. It's getting to see these guys interact. It's seeing Lydia, Holland, it's Allison. It's seeing these two guys, my two Tylers, as Derek and Scott. That's why I always come back to TV shows myself.
I love it. I do have to go ahead and say this. The Teen Wolf fandom, I know for a fact, has been asking for this moment. And I would also say that Tyler Posey, Tyler PC, sir, you've been like egging them on at every red carpet. I know I got to like F yeah a couple times and people start asking me, right? It's your panel, sir. You can say whatever you want. But I will say, like, why do you think now is the time for you to come back to this character? What about this character made you want to come back and do it as a film?
Yeah, like you said, I've been an advocate for bringing Teen Wolf back ever since, before we even ended. Like, I knew it was going to end at some point. I was like, I need this shit back immediately. And I think, I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm in the best place I've ever been in my entire life. You know, so it just feels cool. It just feels serendipitous that the show is back right now. You know, we took a long enough step away from it to really appreciate it and miss it. You know, the show consumed our lives for 10 years, you know, and we were just constantly busy filming the show. And so, like, I think we all needed a break, you know, as much as we would have loved to keep going. It's nice, and it just creates this, it's just special now, you know, bringing it back to everybody. And it's just, I think this amount of time was perfect. I think any longer people would have forgotten the show. You know, right?
Well,
I love you guys!
I love this. Tyler, I do have to say this. What can folks somewhat expect? Because we're going to show a teaser trailer. Maybe.
If you're good.
If you're good. We may show you some. But what can they look forward to?
It's literally, this movie, the Teen Wolf movie, is everything the fans want. It's the entirety of the show wrapped up into one movie. It's nostalgic, it's every character you ever want to see ever again. And the cast has grown up, we're grown up now, just like every single one of you guys. You know, we started this show, I was 18, and now our characters are in their 30s, you know? So it's a whole new side of Teen Wolf. There's no teens anymore.
Yeah, one. We very nice one.
Oh, yeah. I will have to say before we do any more, but just looking back, Mr. Hecklin, everyone's done so many great things, but I want to give at least a moment to look back. And I know you guys love Comic-Con, but from your days on set, do you have a particular memory that you were sort of thinking about, maybe driving down here, coming back to Comic-Con and stepping back into this sort of the wolf pack, as they say?
So many good memories, a lot of incredible years together. But honestly, it was Comic-Con.
We always had such a great time here. I've told the story before, but the first time we were here, no one wanted us here. They were very mad that we were doing the show. And then the second time we came back, it was such a warm welcome from everybody, and the show had finally kind of been out in the world then. So from that time on, I think we had like 5 or 6 years in a row that we were here. And every single season, it was just kind of great to see how the show had grown and how the fans were becoming more and more involved in these characters. So this has always been a really special place for us to come back to. So I'm glad it's been a few years now, but we're back, and it's awesome.
So glad you're back. Also, Tyler, glad you got out here without injuring yourself, because apparently every Comic-Con you get injured.
Yeah, whenever I come out, when they announce my name, I like to, make you guys laugh and be happy or whatever, and I did. I broke my toe one year on this stage.
On the stage.
Yeah, and I poured like a bottle of water on myself at one point. This time I stood on the chair. I hope it was worthy. I hope it was.
We're at press afterwards, and I'm like, are you alright? He's like, no, I'm in excruciating.
It hurt.
I feel bad asking Jeff like what your favorite memories are, because in truth, I know you were a working writer during that time, so like no matter what the greatest day was, there's probably a script you were like stressing about, or like a line of dialogue. But do you have one that you hold particularly dear from those days on set?
I have so many, and I have some new memories too from the film that I can tell you about later if you want. But God, I remember shooting the pilot. It's not always the best memories that you hold on to. It's sometimes the worst. And our first day was an absolute disaster. The camera broke down. It was freezing. We realized nobody knew anything about the cross, and that's what we were shooting that day. I certainly didn't.
Yeah, speak for yourself. And the trailer caught on fire.
Yeah, and the trailer caught on fire. Actually, the trailer caught on fire about the third day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember posting something about it saying, hair maker trailer on fire, all is going well.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I will say one of my favorite memories was the last day of shooting. Because you do, as a writer, you work constantly on a TV show. I can't remember who said this, but somebody once said trying to write a TV show is like trying to land a crashing 747 once a week.
That's the scariest analogy ever.
Actually, my favorite quote about writing is, writing for TV is like having homework for the rest of your life. That's Lawrence Kasdan said that. But the last day of shooting, because so many people came up to me that day who had worked on the show. People came back that day who hadn't been on the show a while to watch the last day of shooting, and everybody said, this was one of the best jobs I've ever had, and when you work on something next, please hire me and pay me more.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I will say, when you guys jetted off into the sunset in 2017, that was my very first Comic-Con here. They barely let me in the door. Definitely didn't let me in Hall H. But I said, okay, well, I'm never going to get to see Teen Wolf in Hall H. I'm never going to get to see him at Comic-Con because the show was over. And then you came back. So I get to be here. So excited. And you're doing it in a movie. So everything gets bigger. Everything gets, like I would say, expanded upon. So Jeff, why movie? Why sort of bringing it back and not with another season to have this sort of longer form story?
Well, I told Paramount Plus I absolutely can't do another season. And they said, what about a movie? And so I started writing the movie, actually. We started plotting it together. Me, Russell, Joe, just putting together ideas, and Will, one of our writers. And I realized we were writing a very long movie because we essentially had 20 main characters. And once I finished the script, it's about 138 pages, and I realized I wrote a short season 7. So we'll see how much that lasts in the final cut, but it was really amazing to bring all the characters back and to revisit them and see where they are now, because we do actually take a jump in time. Tyler and I were talking earlier, and Tyler, for the first time, his character is older than Tyler is.
Yes, my character is now older than I am. I've never been the same age as Scott. When we first started, he was 15, I was 18. Now he's like 55. I'm 30.
I mean, he used heavy makeup.
Yeah, no, because I look old.
that is very disadvantageous. So I watched the entire season over the weekend. Not that much, okay? I'm just saying. You moisturize well. The only thing you can tell is with the tattoos. That is definitely the line of like, oh.
Right, yeah, even my ass. Probably my tattoo.
I will tell you that for this movie, I didn't write any of the tattoos into the movie.
Oh, you did?
Season 3.
You're just like,
Yeah, he had one tattoo in season 3, and I was like, all right, we're not covering it up every day. I'm gonna write it into the show.
Right, these guys, the stripes. Remember the stripes?
And then he just kept getting them.
Thanks, Tom.
So he just wears long sleeves all the time now.
It's true. It's the greatest. I don't have to show my naked body anymore.
I will say backstage in the green room, I saw when, the Tylers came together, and I'm literally like, oh, if 13-year-old me can see this, she would lose it. But I will say this, what was it like for y'all reunited? What was it like for you to have that moment where you guys saw each other, maybe in hair and makeup, maybe in the wolf costume, or just, hey, we're doing this again? When did you guys know both of you were coming back and you were going to be doing it together? I want to start with you, sir.
Not too long before shooting, actually. It was like right before shooting. We're calling him, we FaceTimed, and caught up for a minute, just kind of talked about it. And then my first day on set was the first day that we shot. And I had a few things early on in the morning that he wasn't in. But then eventually, he showed up, and I can say a few other people showed up. And it was just, it's great. I have so many of my best friends are from this show, genuinely, so I've seen a lot of them, consistently since we finished the show. But to see everybody back on set, like at the trailers, getting hair and makeup done, getting into wardrobe, and calling them by their character name again was such a crazy trip down memory lane and making new memories that it was really special. So I think posing, I probably hugged each other like 50 or 60 times that first day. I think I said I love you to him more than I've ever said to my family. We are, and we say it a lot, we're a close family, but it was such a special day to see that it actually happened. Because so many times people want these things to happen and they plan for them and they try, but it's not usually easy to get anything actually made or greenlit sometimes, and so to get everybody back with schedules and everything, it was great.
Yeah, dude, speaking of, your schedule was insane. You had like a rock star schedule. He was flying to and from 3 different jobs that were all while filming Teen Wolf. And so when we were filming, when we were in the thick of it, I got kind of used to filming, and it felt like no time had gone by at all. It was really trippy. And then when he would show up on set, all these emotions and memories would flood back to me, and it just felt special, like you said. So you really helped bring this nostalgic vibe back every time I saw you. It's true. I love him. I love him so much. I hate Derek, but I love him.
I can tell one story about seeing them back together again too. We had started doing wardrobe fittings, and they came to the office, and I was still writing the script, of course. And so I had it was Tyler, Colton, and JR, and they came up to my office, and I said, "Come here, let's read some scenes." And they hadn't read the script yet. I just told them a little bit about it, and when we started reading the scenes together, there was we all had sort of tingles, because it felt like there was a resurgence of magic in the air.
There really was, man. This whole entire experience, I got chills the entire time. It's so fucking cool. It's so cool.
I really do love that the fandom is aged with your ability to be like, get it.
Yeah. I still swore a lot on these things, but now you guys can swear with me.
Oh, that's right. In the movie, they're swearing.
Oh yeah, we say fuck in Teen Wolf for movie.
I was trying to get to. I would say that's maybe the most surprising thing that you curse, but Tyler, is there anything else that you were surprised that you got to do this time around that you couldn't do on the show?
Pass the torch to another team. We have Eli Hale, who is Derek's son, So I was finally an adult, and it felt really good to kind of step into that role. And I didn't have to show my naked body, which was really cool too. There might be one scene where you see my chest.
I was just about to say, are we really going to get to the whole thing without at least a peek?
No, there's definitely a peek. For
Okay,
sure.
I'm for the plot, lady.
Yeah, no.
Mr. Tyler H. Sir, also you came back for season 6, recurring, but you also had some distance between your original run on the show, and so it's almost maybe like deja vu. Was it like that time when you came back, or was it even more removed coming back for the film?
It's somewhat similar, but I would definitely say different. Like I knew that everybody else had still been doing the show consistently when I left the first time. So there was a bit of a coming back to close it out, and that was really fun. That was its own thing. But I think with this, we've all had our time since then. So everybody had kind of gone and experienced life without Teen Wolf for a little bit. So it felt much more. I don't know, it felt more like a shared experience as opposed to my experience coming back to the show. So it definitely felt a little bit different in that sense. So it's been, like you said, I think just coming back to these characters in such different places in their lives, and we're at different places in our lives than when we left, there's just something special about that.
Jeff, I want to leave it with you real quick to just sort of talk about the code reviewing exactly what folks can see, but I do have to just make you get Tyler P to say, where do we find Scott? Because I think that's what folks really want to know. Where are we seeing him? Because the fact that he's 50 already blows my mind.
He's 50 years old. He's got grandbabies, grandwolves. Yeah. Okay. So Beacon Hills kind of messed Scott up, and I think along with everybody here, Beacon Hills was a fucking wild ride. Right? Crazy shit happened there. Sucked. Okay. It aged me 50 years. And so Scott wanted to step away. So he lives in Los Angeles now. He wanted to get away from Beacon Hills. He wanted to put the leadership role on the shelf for a little while. So when we pick up with him, he's kind of a normal person. He still works at the vet, and he is lonely. He's an adult. He's going through what all of us have gone through as adults. He's dealt with some really serious moments in his life. With Beacon Hills, but stepping away, he deals with the reality of what it is to be an actual human, and instead of a superhero werewolf saving the world constantly, he now has to figure out how to save himself. And so that's kind of where we pick him up. He's a little more relaxed. He's not so focused on saving the world yet, but it's we've never seen Scott like this, ever, in our entire career with Teen Wolf. So I was really happy to present that and play that. So I hope you guys like it. It's really cool.
Is it fair to say that we find Scott right after his quarter-life crisis? Because that math kind of works out.
I think we're right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it? Okay,
we're right in the middle.
That's
Just bought a convertible, grew a mustache. He's definitely right in the middle of a quarter-life crisis.
Yeah,
I feel that. On his butt.
Jeff, I will say a lot of things have changed just with technology since you guys did the film. There's so many things. What do you think you got to do just from access, you guys having more time with things? I know television, like you say, is such a sprint. You had more time with this. What was something you got to explore this time around that you couldn't just based on the TV constraints?
I bought a drone, which was nice. So we got to use the drone. But as for filmmaking, we were pretty much the same. We shot Teen Wolf. We tried to make a movie every week. So we were way too ambitious for our budget. And I think we were probably way too ambitious for our budget this time as well, even though we had a little more. But the real fun of it for me was getting them back together and seeing where the characters were in their lives this time, and also asking the question, what happened to them? Where are they now? And I think we came up with some good ideas. And actually, we also introduced a few interesting new characters too, which I think we're going to get to.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think folks have already spied just from the stuff that Paramount Plus has already released. We've been eagle-eyed, spotting what we can and who's there. So can you tell us about some of these new faces that we've seen glimpses of?
Yes. One of them is played by Vince Mattis. He plays Derek Hale's son, Eli. It was an exhaustive search to find him. One of the interesting things about the movie as well is both Tyler's are producers on it. And we brought Hecklin in to help find his son in the movie. And he did all the auditions with the kids and directed them, actually. We talked about it better than me.
Yeah, really fun. I've been lucky to do this as my job since I was a kid, since I was 8 or 9 years old. So I've been on the other side of that so much. Jeff was very gracious to really, part of coming in and producing was something that I've been around this business a lot, and I didn't want it to be something where it's just a credit, but I really wanted to participate. So that was like an early conversation with him and I was like, I want to earn this, I want to be a part of it. So with the casting process, I got to watch all the tapes for the new characters, and specifically for Eli, going through those, and I saw Vince, and just for whatever reason felt like he was the guy. And we read a lot of really talented young actors, and Jeff was kind enough to let me direct them in our little chemistry reads that we did over Zoom, because it was still COVID and all that stuff. So it was really fun. But Vince was just such a great kid. He did such a great job on the film. I'm so proud of him, and we were lucky to have him. So it was fun to be on the other side of the camera and to be able to know what they were going through as young actors, and trying to give them as much as I could to make them feel comfortable and guide them in a way that...
I mean, well, what Team Wolf helped me do was figure out what else I love to do as, somebody in the film business. And I love writing, I love directing, I love producing, so I've got like my own projects coming up and cooking, and hell yes! I'm very excited to share that with you guys whenever that happens. But also I'm a musician, I've got music going on. Yeah, and I post a lot of pictures of my dogs on Instagram if you guys want to check that out.
By the way, the next one of your dog pics is not even anticipated. Let's hear it. I love it. Tyler H, sir. I mean, I think we kind of know a few of your projects, so we have to be blind at not see them, obviously.
We're going back up to Vancouver in September for season 3 of Superman and Lois. Apparently there's talks about more of this stuff, so you never know. And then like Koch said, I'm really enjoying the process of putting things together. So I am working on things. I can't say anything yet to confirm that over here.
I can confirm he's working on something.
So I'm really excited about that. Producing, writing. So we'll see whenever I can actually tell you about it. But it's been a really fun process, and looking forward to doing more of that.
I will say this, since we've already decided that I want to see more in this universe, if there was anyone you could fan cast in either another, Teen Wolf movie or whatever, who would you guys want to have come along for the ride? Anybody you want to have in this world?
Have you guys seen the new Halo?
Yes.
I love that show so much. How would that probably be Teen Wolf? That's what
Yes. Let me just say, yeah, by the way, ladies, I'm just going to say, he's another one that I would love to see in the costuming of Teen Wolf. That's all I'm saying.
Which is shirtless, right?
Yeah.
By the way, you just plugged the Paramount Plus show.
Yeah.
I love Halo. I literally, as soon as it came out, I watched it front to back, and it's the greatest.
I would too, yes. Mr. H, anybody, Tyler H, sir?
Yeah.
I want to know who could play a Superman villain.
That'd be fun. Oh man. Actually, I know a name, but I can't say anything. It's so frustrating. I have a great answer. I just can never actually tell you guys. So let's see if that comes out soon or not. I don't know. Honestly, I had so much fun. Like Jeff said, we were so lucky with the new cast members we had.
Ladies and gentlemen, love yourself.
Use this opportunity to announce that I have officially changed my name. I'm now known as Tyler Jeff. That was one of the rules of joining a Jeff show. So I now consider myself Tyler Triple.
Because I'm dying.
I only came here because they told me to think about Tall H. I'm like, yeah, I'll do the show. It's amazing. He's amazing, and everything that these guys said about family and the atmosphere of a show that Jeff runs is really true. And I hope that I hope that you guys come join us.
That's scary. All right, everyone. That is it for us. Please go forward and tell people of the greatness. We're going to take a quick photo, and I want to thank all of you for being close to Paramount Plus, and of course our incredible panel.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for bringing the show back.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming back. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tyler.
See you guys. Have fun. Bye, guys. Like, because I get down. Okay, here we go.
Bye, thank you for coming! Hi, Brazil. I miss you. It's good to see you. Bye, you guys.
Tyler, thank you so much for coming back to this show.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thanks for having us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.